In Thailand, 12 elephants started screaming well before the wave hit. They broke loose and charged inland, and everyone around them had no clue what was coming. Nature sounds the alarm before everything falls apart. The signs show up hours or even days early, and some have been caught on camera. These are signals most people miss because nobody taught us what to look for. Fact 1. The ocean pulls back. Picture this scene. You're standing on a beach and the water starts draining away. Reefs and fish are suddenly sitting on dry sand, and it looks like the ocean just changed its mind and decided to leave. This isn't a miracle, it's a tsunami drawback, and the trough of the wave arrives before the crest, pulling the sea back like it's taking a deep breath, while the wall of water hits minutes later. During the 2004 Indian Ocean tsunami, thousands of people saw this and walked out onto the exposed seabed to look at stranded fish, and then the wave arrived. If the ocean ever pulls back fast, don't follow it. Don't take pictures and turn around to run for higher ground immediately, because that dry sand isn't a gift, it's a countdown. Fact 2. Birds fly like something is wrong. Water isn't the only thing that acts weird before disaster strikes, so watch the sky. In February 2023, videos of birds flying in tight circles and landing all at once went viral just before the earthquake hit Turkey, and it looked like the birds knew something the people on the ground didn't. This isn't new because back in 373 BC, historians in Greece recorded that rats, weasels, snakes, and birds all left their homes days before a huge earthquake destroyed the city. Scientists think birds might sense tiny electrical signals or small vibrations in the ground that human bodies can't feel. When the sky starts acting like a storm is coming and the weather is clear, that's worth watching. Fact 3. Dogs, cats, and cows lose their cool. Birds react in the air, yet some animals send their warnings from right inside your own house. Before Japan's massive 9.0 earthquake in 2011, pet owners reported dogs howling and barking for no clear reason. Cats started making more noise and acting restless. Dairy farms noticed something even stranger. Their cows produced less milk about 4 days before the quake. After the disaster, a study collected thousands of reports from all over, and the behavior wasn't limited to one neighborhood or one breed. If your dog, your cat, and your neighbor's cow all start acting off at the same time, that's not a coincidence. It might be your only warning, but these animals don't need to live inside your house to send a signal you can't ignore. Fact 4. Elephants sound the alarm. As strange as pets can act, nothing compares to what happened with animals that weigh several tons. On December 26, 2004, a dozen elephants giving tourist rides at Khao Lak, Thailand began trumpeting hours before the tsunami arrived. The handlers tried to calm them down, but the elephants tore loose and ran inland to higher ground, and the tourists and workers nearby stood completely confused. Meanwhile, in Sri Lanka and Sumatra, other elephants did the exact same thing, and they moved to high ground before the giant waves struck. That tsunami killed over 230,000 people, and researchers noticed that almost no animals died alongside them. Researchers think elephants detect low-frequency sounds or ground vibrations from the distant earthquake, and their ears and feet pick up what our senses miss. When an elephant decides to run, it's not panicking, it's reading data. Fact 5. The Doomsday Fish surfaces. Elephants use sound and vibration, but some warnings come from creatures so deep underwater that most people never see them alive. The giant oarfish looks like a silver ribbon with a red crest, and it normally lives thousands of feet down in the ocean. In Japanese folklore, it's called the messenger from the sea god's palace, and when one washes up on shore, the old stories say disaster is coming. Multiple oarfish washed up on Japanese shores in the year before the 2011 earthquake and tsunami. In 2019, 7 of them showed up in 1 week, sparking panic up and down the coast. Recent sightings have kept the story alive on social media. Scientists say the link is unproven, and strandings probably come from ocean currents or illness. But every time one of these deep-sea creatures appears on a beach, people watch the news a little more closely. Fact 6. Snakes wake up too early. Legends tell one story, but in 1975, an entire country used animal behavior to save an estimated 1 million lives. That winter in China, field workers near Haichang found hundreds of snakes that woke up from winter sleep in freezing weather, froze in the cold, and died on the ground. Snakes don't wake up in midwinter. Chinese authorities were already watching animal behavior for earthquake signs. When they saw the snakes along with other ground signals, they ordered evacuations, and hours later, a massive earthquake struck the region. It's still the most successful earthquake forecast ever recorded, and it started with reptiles doing something they were never supposed to do. Fact 7. Toads. Abandoned breeding snakes weren't the only creatures that vanished right before a major quake. In 2009, scientist Rachel Grant tracked common toad breeding cycles at San Rufino Lake in Italy. When the entire colony suddenly disappeared, they abandoned the lake 5 days ahead of the 6.3 size earthquake that destroyed the nearby town of L'Aquila. 5 days is not a split-second reaction, so the toads stayed away through the main shock and then returned to breed as if nothing had happened. NASA scientist Friedemann Freund has a theory that stressed rock releases chemicals into groundwater that animals can taste or smell. The toads might have noticed the lake was no longer safe. This is rigorous scientific research connecting animal behavior with earthquake signs, and it turns out the quietest warnings are sometimes the most reliable. Nature doesn't whisper before disaster, it broadcasts, but most of us just don't know what channel to tune into. If you only remember one thing, make it the first one. When the ocean pulls back, run. Let me know which warning surprised you most in the comments. Hit subscribe so you don't miss the next list dropping soon.